Dad Quiet Revenge. George, I need you to watch Helen next week while I'm on my business trip to Chicago, my daughter Margaret said over the phone. I know your hip surgery is scheduled, but couldn't you postpone it? This client meeting could change everything for my company. I sat there in my recliner, staring at the surgical consent forms on my coffee table. After 40 years as a construction engineer and 11 years as a widower, I thought I knew my daughter pretty well. Turns out I was wrong. Margaret, the surgery is Monday morning. I've been on the waiting list for 6 months. The pain in my hip. Dad, I get it, but this is important. Helen's just 9. She can practically take care of herself. You'd barely have to do anything. My name is George Pierce. I'm 68 years old, and that phone call changed everything. Not because of what my daughter asked, but because of what she said next when I told her I couldn't postpone major surgery to babysit. Then maybe it's time you thought about assisted living. Clearly you're not able to help family when we need you. The line went dead. No goodbye. No concern about my surgery, just silence. I looked around my living room in the house I'd built with my own hands 35 years ago. Same house where my wife Barbara raised Margaret. Same house where I'd welcomed my granddaughter Helen every weekend for the past 9 years since Margaret's divorce. The wooden coffee table I'd crafted myself held those surgery papers, and the stone fireplace I'd laid brick by brick seemed to mock me with its permanence.
C. Margaret only called when she needed something. Money for her marketing company, help with Helen, emergency repairs on the condo I'd helped her buy.
But when was the last time she'd called just to check how I was doing? I couldn't remember. Had to be before Christmas, maybe earlier. That evening, I walked through my house with fresh eyes. Every room told a story of giving. The kitchen table where I'd helped Helen with homework while Margaret worked late. The spare bedroom I'd kept ready for whenever Margaret needed to crash for a few days during her divorce proceedings. The workshop in the basement where I'd built Helen's dollhouse, spending 3 weekends getting every detail perfect. But Margaret hadn't even asked about the surgery details, didn't want to know about the recovery time, the physical therapy, or why I'd been walking with a limp for 8 months. She just wanted to know if I'd be available to provide free childcare. That night, I did what any good engineer does when facing a problem. I gathered data. I went to my home office, the small room off the living room where I'd managed construction budgets for decades, and pulled out 11 years of bank statements. Every check I'd written to Margaret since Barbara died. I spread them across my desk like blueprints, organizing them by year, looking for patterns. The numbers told a story I'd been too blind to see: $127,000 over 11 years. That wasn't including the $45,000 down payment for her condo, the $15,000 I'd lent her when her business was failing last year, or the weekly groceries I'd bought when Helen stayed over. Add in the car repairs, the emergency dental work, the business trip expenses she couldn't cover. I was looking at close to $200,000. But it wasn't about the money. It was the pattern. I pulled out my phone and scrolled through our text messages from the past year. Dad, can you pick up Helen from school? Client emergency. Dad, I need a favor. Dad, quick question about a loan. Dad, Helen really wants to see you this weekend, which I now realize translated to I need a free babysitter so I can go on dates. In 47 phone calls last year, 43 were requests for money or favors. The other 4 were about school events she needed me to attend because she was too busy. Not once did she call to ask how I was doing, if my arthritis was bothering me, or if I needed anything. The hip injury happened 8 months ago on a consulting job. I was checking foundation work for a friend's renovation when I stepped wrong and felt something tear. Margaret knew about it. I'd mentioned it when she called asking me to move her furniture the following weekend. I'd explained I couldn't lift heavy things anymore. Her response, Dad, I already rented the truck. Can't you just do the light stuff? I'd done it anyway, making the injury worse because that's what I always did. I showed up even when it hurt. Monday morning came gray and cold, typical October weather in Ohio. I drove myself to the hospital because Margaret was too busy with client calls to make the early morning drive. The nurse, Linda, was kind enough to help me with the paperwork. She had silver hair and gentle hands, probably about my age. No family coming to pick you up after surgery? She asked, reviewing my emergency contacts. No, I said, just me. She frowned slightly. Mr. Pierce, hip replacement is major surgery. You'll need someone to help you for at least the first few days. I'll manage, but I could see the concern in her eyes. In 40 years of marriage, Barbara had never let me face anything alone. She'd been there for every doctor visit, every minor surgery, every crisis. Now, I was 68 years old, about to have metal inserted into my bones, and the only person I could count on was myself. During the 3 days in the hospital, Margaret sent exactly one text. Hope surgery went well. Helen says hi. Helen says hi. Not even from Helen herself. No questions about the procedure, no offer to visit, no concern about pain management or recovery timeline. Just a text that took her maybe 10 seconds to type. The surgery went fine, according to Dr. Kenneth, my orthopedic surgeon. He was a straightforward guy, probably mid-50s, who explained everything in terms I could understand. We've replaced the worn joint with titanium and ceramic components. Should last you 20 years easy, maybe longer, but recovery is going to take patience. How long before I'm walking normal? 6 weeks with assistance, 12 weeks for full recovery. Physical therapy starts next week, 6 weeks. I thought about all the times I'd pushed through pain to help Margaret with something that couldn't wait, moving her furniture with a torn rotator cuff, driving through a snowstorm to pick up Helen when Margaret's car wouldn't start, painting her condo kitchen while dealing with bronchitis because she'd already bought the paint. Linda, the nurse, checked on me regularly. She had a way of reading people that came from years of experience. Your daughter busy today? She asked on Tuesday morning, noting the empty visitor chair. She's got a business to run, I said, though I wasn't sure why I was defending Margaret. Family support makes a big difference in recovery, Linda said gently. Maybe she'll come by later, but Margaret didn't come later, or the next day. Helen did call, though. Wednesday evening, her small voice came through my phone. Grandpa George, are you okay? Mom said you had an operation and they put metal in your leg. It's my hip, sweetheart. And yes, I'm okay. Getting stronger every day. Does it hurt? A little, but not too bad. How was school today? She told me about her art project, a drawing of our family tree that she was working on for social studies. I put you right in the middle because you're like the trunk that holds everyone up. That comment hit me harder than the surgery pain out of the mouths of children. Can I come visit when you're home? We'll see, Helen. We'll see. After she hung up, I stared at the ceiling tiles of my hospital room, counting the perforated dots in each square. 64 dots per tile, 24 tiles visible from my bed. 1,536 dots total. Numbers had always calmed me down, helped me think clearly. It's how I'd managed construction projects for 4 decades, break big problems into smaller, manageable pieces. This situation with Margaret was just another project that needed systematic analysis. Thursday morning, while waiting for the physical therapist, I started what I now call phase 1 of my strategic planning. See, when you've managed construction projects for 40 years, you learn to think systematically. You identify the problem, gather evidence, plan your approach, and execute with precision. The problem was clear. Margaret saw me as a resource, not a parent. A resource that was expected to be available 24/7 without question or compensation, but also without respect or genuine appreciation. I needed evidence. Hard data. In construction, you don't make decisions based on feelings, you make them based on measurable facts. I used my phone to create a spreadsheet, something I hadn't done since retiring. Column A, date. Column B, type of contact from Margaret. Column C, purpose. Column D, follow-up or thank you. Going through my call log and text messages, the pattern became crystal clear. In the past 18 months, Margaret had initiated contact 52 times. 48 of those contacts were requests for money, favors, or emergency assistance. 3 were about school events where she needed me to show up because she was busy. 1 was to tell me she was getting divorced and needed me to co-sign a loan. 0 calls just to check how I was doing. The follow-up column was even more telling. Out of 52 interactions where I'd provided help, money, or time, Margaret had followed up with genuine thanks exactly 3 times. Usually I'd get a quick thanks dad text, if anything at all. But the real revelation came when I cross-referenced these requests with my bank records using my phone's banking app. Margaret's emergencies always seemed to coincide with her wanting something expensive. The client dinner emergency that required me to babysit Helen overnight. Same week she posted photos on social media from an expensive restaurant with a man I'd never heard of. The business crisis that required a $5,000 loan. 2 weeks later, Helen mentioned that Mommy had gotten a spa weekend to relax. I wasn't just being used, I was being systematically manipulated. Thursday afternoon, my physical therapist arrived. She was a competent woman named Carol, probably in her 40s, who didn't believe in coddling patients. Mr. Pierce, we're going to get you up and walking today. Are you ready? Standing up was harder than I'd expected. The new hip felt foreign, like it belonged to someone else. But Carol was patient, adjusting the walker height and teaching me the proper technique. You live alone? She asked as I took my first tentative steps. Yes. My wife passed 11 years ago, children nearby to help during recovery. I paused, gripping the walker handles. I have a daughter, but she's busy with her own life. Carol nodded diplomatically. Recovery is easier with support, but plenty of patients manage independently. The key is taking it slow and not pushing too hard too fast. As she helped me back to bed, she mentioned something that stuck with me. Sometimes the people who think they can handle everything alone are the ones who've been handling too much for everyone else. That evening, alone in my hospital room, I called my lawyer, Arthur Davidson. Arthur and I go way back. He'd handled Barbara's will and my business contracts for 25 years. We'd built trust through dozens of deals and handshakes. "George, you sound different," Arthur said when I explained why I was calling from a hospital bed. "I'm done being a checkbook with legs, Arthur. I need to protect what I've built and make sure it goes to someone who deserves it." "What are you thinking?" "I want to meet next week to discuss my will and estate planning. There are going to be some significant changes." Arthur was quiet for a moment. "George, major decisions right after surgery while you're on pain medication." "Arthur, I've been on pain medication for months because of this hip." "That's not what's changed. What's changed is my perspective on what family really means. All right, I'll clear my schedule for next Thursday." After I hung up, I felt something I hadn't experienced in years. Not relief, not anger, but clarity. For the first time in 11 years, I was going to make decisions based on what was best for me, not what was expected of me. I went home Friday afternoon with a walker pain medication and a detailed recovery plan. The house felt different somehow. Quieter, but also more mine than it had in years. No one had visited while I was gone. No flowers, no cards, no casseroles from Margaret or her friends, just silence. The first thing I did was sit at my kitchen table and create a proper analysis of my financial situation. I spread out bank statements, investment portfolios, and insurance documents like I was preparing a bid for a major construction project. Numbers don't lie, and I needed facts, not emotions. Over 11 years, I'd given Margaret $127,000 in direct transfers. The condo down payment was another $45,000. Emergency loans totaling $23,000. Car repairs, medical bills I'd covered, insurance premiums, grocery money for Helen. It added up to $207,000, nearly $250,000. But here's what really got me. I tracked Margaret's income through those same 11 years. Her marketing company was doing well. She was pulling in $75,000 annually, sometimes more. She didn't need my money to survive. She needed it to maintain a lifestyle she couldn't afford on her own. That weekend, Helen called 3 times. "Saturday morning, Grandpa, how are you feeling?" Sunday afternoon, "Can I come visit soon?" Monday evening. Mom seemed stressed about something. Margaret called once Tuesday, 9:47 a.m. "Dad, my car payment bounced. The automatic transfer didn't go through. There must be some kind of bank error." "No, how are you feeling? No, do you need anything?" Just immediate assumption that her financial problem was my responsibility to solve. "There's no error, Margaret. I canceled the automatic transfers." Silence. Then, "What do you mean canceled?" "I mean I stopped paying your car payment, your insurance, and your monthly allowance. Effective immediately. You can't do that. Helen depends on her mother supporting her, not her grandfather." "You have a good job, Margaret. Time to use it." She hung up on me again. No surprise there. Thursday morning, I drove myself to Arthur Davidson's office in downtown Cleveland. The 20-minute drive was the longest I'd managed since surgery, but I was determined to handle this myself. Arthur's office occupied the 3rd floor of a brick building that had been there since the 1920s, solid, dependable, built to last. Arthur looked exactly the same as he had 15 years ago when he'd helped me incorporate my consulting business after retirement from the city engineering department. Gray-haired, careful, with the kind of steady presence that inspired confidence. "George," he said, standing to shake my hand and noticing my careful movement, "how's the recovery going? Better every day. Thanks for seeing me on short notice." We sat in his conference room, the same room where Barbara and I had updated our wills after she was diagnosed with cancer. I spread my documentation across the mahogany table like blueprints for a complex project. "Arthur, I want to show you something before we talk about legal changes." I walked him through my financial analysis, the spreadsheet of Margaret's requests, the correlation between my gifts and her lifestyle expenses, the pattern of contact only when she needed something. Arthur reviewed everything methodically, occasionally making notes on his legal pad. After 20 minutes, he looked up. "This is thorough, George. What exactly do you want to accomplish?"
3 things, I said, counting on my fingers like I was outlining project phases. 1. Stop the financial bleeding immediately.
2. Protect Helen's future without giving Margaret control over any of it. 3. Make it legally clear that respect is earned, not inherited. Arthur nodded slowly. "We can set up an irrevocable trust for Helen that Margaret can't touch. Change your will to remove Margaret entirely. Cancel any joint accounts or financial arrangements, all of it legal and ironclad. How long will this take? 2 weeks if you're serious about moving forward." "Arthur, I've never been more serious about anything in my life." We spent the next hour designing what Arthur called comprehensive asset protection. The irrevocable trust would give Helen access to funds for education starting at 18, with full control at 25. Margaret would have no legal standing to claim anything. The will would explicitly state that she was being disinherited due to a pattern of financial exploitation and lack of respect. George, Arthur said as we concluded, this is permanent. Once these documents are signed and notarized, you can't change your mind if Margaret apologizes or promises to do better. Good, I said. I don't want the option to change my mind. That's how I got into this mess in the first place. That afternoon, I called my bank and spoke with Nancy, a financial advisor who'd helped me manage my retirement accounts for the past 5 years. Mr. Pierce, I see several automatic transfers to Margaret Pierce's accounts, she said, pulling up my files on her computer. Cancel all of them, effective immediately. Are you certain? Some of these have been running for years. Nancy, I'm certain. Also, I want to close the joint savings account I share with her and transfer everything to my personal checking. That's $23,000, sir. That's my money, Nancy. Within an hour, every financial connection between Margaret and me was severed. No more automatic car payments, no more insurance coverage, no more monthly allowance. No more emergency access to my accounts. For the first time in 11 years, my money was mine alone. That evening, I sat in my workshop in the basement, surrounded by the tools I'd accumulated over decades of building and fixing things. Hand planes, chisels, levels, squares, instruments of precision, and craftsmanship. I picked up a piece of oak I'd been saving for a special project and began planning a jewelry box for Helen, something she could keep forever, made by hands that loved her unconditionally. The phone rang twice that night. I didn't answer. Whatever Margaret wanted to say about her financial crisis could wait. I had work to do. Margaret tried calling 6 times over the next week. I let them all go to voicemail. The messages escalated from confused to angry to desperate. Dad, we need to talk. Dad, you're being unreasonable. Dad, this is affecting Helen, and that's not fair. Always starting with accusations. Never with, how are you feeling, or I'm sorry. Helen called too, her voice small and worried. Grandpa George, Mom seems upset. Are you mad at us? I'm not mad at you, sweetheart. I could never be mad at you. Your mom and I just have some grown-up things to work out. Will I still get to see you, Helen? You will always be welcome in my house. That will never change no matter what happens between your mom and me. Promise, I promise. 2 weeks later, Arthur called with news. Everything's finalized, George. The trust is established. The will is updated and properly witnessed. Margaret has no legal recourse to contest any of it. Good. Now for the final phase. Arthur had sent Margaret a formal letter requesting a meeting at his office to discuss estate planning matters affecting the family. Professional, businesslike, giving no hint of what was coming. When she arrived that Thursday afternoon, I was already sitting at Arthur's conference table with 3 manila folders arranged in front of me. Margaret walked in wearing her best business attire, probably thinking she was going to charm her way through whatever this was about. She didn't expect the folders or the serious expressions on our faces. What's this about, Dad? Arthur said something about updating your will. Sit down, Margaret. I opened the first folder. This is about accountability. I laid out the bank statements first, organized chronologically like a construction timeline. 11 years of financial support. $127,000 in direct payments, not counting major expenses like your condo down payment, car repairs, and emergency loans. Her face changed as she recognized the documents. Dad, I never asked for all of that. Folder 2, communication analysis. I spread out printed emails and text logs. 52 contacts in the past 18 months. 48 were requests for money or favors. 4 were about Helen's school events you needed me to attend because you were too busy. 0 were checking on my health or well-being. Arthur sat quietly, taking notes and serving as my witness. Folder 3, the new legal documents. I slid the will across the table. You've been completely removed from any inheritance. Helen receives everything through an irrevocable trust that you cannot access, control, or contest. The color drained from Margaret's face as she read, "You can't do this." Arthur spoke up for the first time. "Actually, Miss Pierce, it's already done. All legal requirements have been met, properly witnessed and notarized. This is punishment for one phone call?" I leaned forward, keeping my voice steady. "Margaret, this isn't punishment, this is consequence. For 11 years, you've treated me like an ATM with a pulse. You call when you need something and disappear when you don't. You threatened to put me in assisted living because I couldn't babysit after major surgery. I was stressed about the business trip. You were showing me exactly how you see our relationship. I'm useful when convenient, disposable when not." I stood up carefully, my hips still stiff but functional. "The financial support stops today. The inheritance you apparently counted on is gone. Helen's future is protected from your sense of entitlement." Margaret's composure cracked. "What about Helen? She loves you. Helen can visit me anytime she wants. This house will always be open to her. But you You're not welcome until you learn that respect isn't something you inherit, it's something you earn. She tried everything then, arguing that I was being irrational, threatening to keep Helen away from me, even crying, though the tears seemed calculated rather than genuine. Arthur calmly explained that the trust protected Helen's rights to visit me regardless of Margaret's wishes, that any attempt to interfere with our relationship could be seen as elder abuse, that everything we'd done was not only legal but specifically designed to prevent the kind of manipulation she was attempting right now. When Margaret finally left, she turned back at the door. "You'll regret this, Dad. When you're old and need help, don't come crying to me." "Margaret," I said, "I'm already old. I already need help sometimes, and you've made it clear that asking you for anything comes with a price I'm not willing to pay anymore." After she left, Arthur and I sat in silence for a moment. "How do you feel?" he asked. "Free," I said. "For the first time in 11 years, completely free." That weekend, Helen called and asked if she could come over. I picked her up from Margaret's apartment, noting that Margaret wouldn't even come to the door. Helen ran out and hugged me like she hadn't seen me in months instead of just 2 weeks. "Are you really not going to help Mom anymore?" she asked as we drove back to my house. "Helen, sometimes adults have to make hard choices about what's healthy and what's not. Your mom and I see things very differently right now, but you still love me?" I pulled into my driveway and looked at this beautiful child who'd never asked me for anything but time and attention. "Helen, you are the most important person in my life. That will never change, no matter what happens between your mom and me." We spent the weekend building that jewelry box in my workshop. I taught Helen how to use the router safely, how to sand with the grain, how to apply stain evenly. She was a natural, patient, and careful with the tools. "Grandpa George," she said while we waited for the stain to dry, "Mom says you're being mean to her." "What do you think?" Helen considered this seriously. "I think maybe she's just not used to people saying no to her, out of the mouths of children." When Margaret came to pick Helen up Sunday evening, she stayed in the car again. Helen ran to me for a goodbye hug. "Grandpa, will you promise me something?" "What's that, sweetheart?" "Don't disappear just because Mom's being difficult." "I promise, Helen. I'm not going anywhere." 6 months later, my hip was completely healed. I'd started doing consulting work again, helping young engineers with complex projects. Margaret had stopped calling entirely, but Helen called every Tuesday and visited every other weekend. During one visit, she told me Margaret was dating someone new, had moved to a smaller apartment, was actually working harder at her business instead of relying on bailouts. "She seems different," Helen said, while we worked on a birdhouse for my backyard, "like she's trying instead of just complaining." Maybe facing real consequences had taught Margaret something. Maybe not. Either way, it wasn't my responsibility anymore. That evening, I sat on my back porch watching the sunset. My phone buzzed with a text from Helen, a photo of the jewelry box she'd made, now holding her collection of special stones and the friendship bracelet I'd helped her braid. "Thank you for teaching me to build things that last, Grandpa. Love you." I texted back, "Love you too, sweetheart. See you Saturday." At 68 years old, I'd learned something my engineering training never taught me. Sometimes the strongest structure you can build is a boundary. Sometimes protecting what matters most means cutting off what doesn't. And sometimes the best gift you can give someone is the chance to learn they can't take you for granted. Margaret might come around eventually. She might not. But I'd sleep well either way, knowing I'd protected my granddaughter's future and reclaimed my own dignity. The house was quiet, but it wasn't empty anymore. It was mine again, filled with the peaceful silence of a man who finally understood the difference between being needed and being used. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do for family is refuse to enable their worst behaviors. Even when they call it cruelty, you know it's actually courage. A man's legacy isn't measured by how much he gave away, but by whether he taught the next generation that respect and responsibility go hand in hand.